Hello everybody and welcome back. A few weeks ago I asked you if you have any ideas for a poison type Fakemon that can be added to the German's book decks, since it was the only type I think where I had no Fakemon design or even planned one. Thanks to everyone who commented. Today you will see one of those concepts, and I know for a fact that I want to make at least one more of your ideas into a Fakemon. But which concept did I choose? Well, I actually chose two and fused them together. Comment 1 was by Pewter City Jim, who suggested to make a poison type Fakemon based on the Gannet. I had no idea what a Gannet is, so I looked it up, what the German term is, and it's called Kleinfleck-Ginsterkatze, and I still had no idea what that is supposed to be. Fortunately, there is a wiki article for everything, and well, that's right here is a Gannet. Pretty cool, right? Had no idea those can be found in Germany, but I'ma take it. Comment 2 was by Missy Duper, who suggested the Fire Salamander as an inspiration, and I'ma take that one too. So I started sketching and fusing those two ideas. There are a few things to know about those animals. The Gannet originally comes from Africa but was brought to Europe where it managed to repopulate. It often happens that people bring animals they don't really know anything about back from like their holidays, and then they escape or get released and turn into huge pests that mess up the ecosystem. I would say this Fakemon originally came from a region based in Africa, but was brought to the German's book region as a pet. However, it turned out to be way more dangerous and larger than expected, since the Fakemon all of a sudden was in a different environment, which confused and scared them. This state of panic made them evolve very soon, and people didn't know how to deal with them anymore. So it got released into the wild, where it has quickly built up a small population, since it has no natural enemies in his new home. I based this law on the fact that, at least to me, Germany is pretty basic. Like, not many fancy or dangerous animals. Ticks and boars are the most dangerous ones you can find here. Occasionally there are wolf sightings, which is cool, but that's about it. Also, no extreme weather. The summers are not too hot, winters are not too cold, just average. Well, okay, at least it used to be this way. Compared to other parts of the world, it's probably still rather tame and harmless, but Germany just got hit with 3 major storms: Jelena, Zeynep and Antonia. And then there was Bibi, but that one was not comparable. The climate change is pretty obvious, and I highly doubt it's gonna get any better, but okay, let's start with the depressing part. I figured there's nothing that could be a real threat to a somewhat invasive species, so here we have a rather dangerous mon that was brought into the region. Real-life Gannets have the ability to spray a secret for communication purpose, I believe, which translates well to a poison type. Besides, they're wild animals, and it's usually said to be careful because they can contract diseases. Not Gannets in particular, but just wild animals in general. Oh, also the term Ginster, which is part of the German name, is a poisonous or venomous plant. I don't know which of the two it is. The German language doesn't differentiate between those two meanings. Just don't eat the plant, that's all. The second inspiration is the Fire Salamander. I honestly didn't know they were poisonous. Like, yeah, the colors indicate that they shouldn't be touched, but I thought it's just a safety mechanism. But if provoked, they can produce a poisonous secret that is... For a human it's only painful to touch it, but for animals it can be deadly. Both animals have various spots on its body, which are used as an excuse to fuse them together. The base stage is a cute, more feline looking creature, but don't get too attached to it, it won't stay this way. To not overcomplicate the design, I only give it spots on its tail and cheeks. It also has a thing on its chest where it stores poison in it. If you look closely, you will see that the spots on its cheek and the chest part are looking like a scary face. I thought this could be a cool way to imply that this Fakemon is not as harmless as it seems, and that it will evolve into something more vicious. The yellow spots can secrete the poison if the Fakemon is endangered, scared, startled or mad. So always make sure it is comfortable space before petting it. Otherwise, it may end painful for you. I don't think I captured the Gannet face that well. It's pretty long, and drawing a long face from the front was not possible for me. Looks more like a bear, but here we are. I didn't want to change the whole pose or face again. Here it is, Ginny Mini. A fusion of Ginster. Google Translate tells me that it's called broom or gorse in English. Hope you know what that is. And as well as Mini, and the knee part of Carnivora. It's a pure poison type and probably one of the cutest ones out there. Even though they look cute, trainers are not advised to interact with them in the wild since their parents might be just around the corner. Let's see what this cute mon evolves into. The first sketches were absolutely terrible and I'm embarrassed, but I also don't wanna cut it out because I want you to see the whole process. Please just stay for a minute, it will get better, I promise. The pose was clear from the beginning, directly looking at you like it's trying to challenge you. Don't accept the challenge though unless you know what you're doing, cause this fake one is a beast. And the design had to reflect that. I struggled for a long time to make an appealing face, nothing really worked, so I decided to try a different route and focused more on the fire salamander aspect over the gannet because it was easier to draw for me. Felines and dogs and stuff like that, it's horrible for me. Making the head not based on a mammal was a game changer and worked wonders. It achieved the monstrous look I desperately wanted for this design. To make it appear extra dangerous, I gave it a larger grin with razor sharp teeth. To highlight the smile even more, I basically tripled the chest spike thing from its previous form, so now it has two giant diabolic smiles. I don't know if it comes across that way, but that's what I anticipated. I thought about a secondary typing for a while, until I realized it was actually pretty obvious. It's a fire salamander, so why not make the secondary type fire? Yes, I know there is already a cool fire poison type called Salandit and its evolution, but it's a typing I like and that isn't overused, so I chose it anyway. To hint at the fire typing, I gave it a few tufts of hair that are shaped like flames, but also I mixed in a bit of manticore with that poisonous stinger at the end of its tail. But it rarely uses its tail. It actually rarely fights at all, since its alarming colors and aura protect it from any fakemon that would be a threat, and there aren't a lot to begin with. The additional fire typing makes this fakemon a lot more dangerous. If they found a territory, they will not leave it without a fight, and will protect it with everything they have. And by that I mean flaming hot acid, which they can shoot at enemies with incredible accuracy. In fact, when they were first found in the wild, they were settling in the forest of the region. However, they accidentally started a few forest fires by spitting around flaming hot acid to protect their newfound home. At this point, the fakemon was too dangerous for both the environment and the humans, so people decided to step in the situation. First of all, bringing more Guinea and other dangerous fakemon into the region became illegal, so they wouldn't mess up the ecosystem anymore. And second of all, a program of rehousing Guinea plus the evolution to a different part of the region was initiated. So over time those fakemon got caught and were brought into a more rocky and open part of the Jemansburg region, with enough space for every individual and with less flaming materials. Also, until this day there are rangers that regularly check on them. It is worth mentioning that the more time has passed, the more they adapted to their new surroundings and became less aggressive. Since the first individual were just confused why they suddenly don't recognize their home anymore, and why the climate is completely different. This made them act out, but after adapting this was no longer the case. They are still hot-headed, but they know that attacking other fakemon or humans with flaming acid will most likely harm their territory and nothing more. At the beginning those fakemon were living alone, once they became adults. But since the rehousing program, they started to gather in smaller groups. It's not like they need the protection of the group, but they somehow adapted to be more social. Just asking you for your ideas what you want to see in the region worked so well the last time, I'm just gonna ask you again. Do you have any ideas for Ice-type fakemon? Right now we have the regional rodent Avelmot and the Jemansburg Lotad line, and I have a few ideas for one more Ice-type, but that's about it. If you have ideas you want to see, please let me know and they might get turned into fakemon. Just to remind you, the region is based on Germany and I will preferably choose something that is at least connected, but if it has nothing to do with Germany, that's perfectly fine too. I don't want to restrict anyone and then I have to use more creativity, so yeah. Here it is, the final evolution Xenovora, a fusion of Toxic, Inferno and Carnivora. It is one of the most dangerous fakemon of the Jemansburg region, only the most skilled trainers have them on their team. I don't know if either PewDieCityGym or MissieDoopop expected their suggestions to be turned into these monstrous creatures, but I hope you like it. Also, I love the shiny colors, just wanted to mention that. If you agree, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel and share the video with your friends. I would really appreciate it. If you have any ideas or critique, please leave a comment. See you in the comments!